Hello, my Beatles fans. Well, it's Christmas time, so I broke out my 45s. I'm going to go over my copies of the Beatles Fan Club Christmas records. So I have 4 of them. They released one every year from 1963 until 1969. And so I'm going to go through each one. Now this one was released in 1964. It's the second one, called Another Beatles Christmas Record. Now, one thing to note if you don't know, the fan club are the ones who distributed these 45s. These were not sold in stores, so there are a limited amount out there in the world. So it makes them pretty special. So, yeah, you couldn't buy these. If you wanted to, you had to join the fan club. So that's why it's by the official Beatles fan club. So you can see in the front, these records I'll have a big description on the back. So this one, issued in December 1964, has a foreword by Tony Barrow. And these, since they were not sold in stores, the composition of the record is floppy. It's just a very thin, mass market record. It's kind of like a sheet of plastic. Definitely not like a regular record. So anyway, I have 64. Then I have a gap, and then I jump over to 67. So this one is, you can tell, looks a little more like Sgt. Peppery. Very apt for the time of 1967. Sleeve design is by Julian, John, and Ringo. And tells you about it, recorded December 20th, 1967. And same thing with this. The inside it's very thin if you pick it up, so hardly anything to it. As you can see, I bought this for $55 years and years ago. Alright, now let's jump over to 1968. We're getting a little psychedelic here, but you see the drawing, a little man on here. It says Christmas 1968. And we've got kind of the official logo here on the back. And actually, should open that up. I don't have the back, should I? But while we do that, let's go to 1969. Getting no words even on the cover of these last ones. And you can see on this label it's a little different. That looks like a Revolver, but with older Beatles. Still kind of interesting. So these are all two-sided, so that's important to know, not just one-sided. They have, I was reading descriptions of these, and there was one thing that said, very off-key a cappella versions of Yesterday, and one of them, things like that. So here's the back of the 1968 version. And this, interesting though, this plays at 33 1/3, even though it is a 45 size. So, and this one recorded in 1968, the posh London homes of Beatle John and Beatle Paul, and in the back of Beatle Ringo's diesel-powered removal van somewhere in Surrey. And then let's open up the back of 1969, the last one, of course. And see what that looks like. I've got these sealed. These are so precious. I sealed them up. And there we go. So it's got a drawing on the back. Cover design by Richard Starkey and Zach Starkey on this one. So from Ascot in Berkshire, from Weybridge in Surrey, and from St. John's Wood in the borough of Marylebone, and from Apple in the West End. And that made the 70s give peace a chance. So there we go. Those are the Christmas albums. Merry Christmas, or Happy Christmas.